Welcome back to Sikho German, Lektion 14, and we're reaching one of the most important topics in German grammar. You've already learned accusative prepositions that always require accusative, and dative prepositions that always require dative. Today's topic is Zwei-Wege Präpositionen, two-way prepositions. These special prepositions don't automatically force one case like the others. Instead, you decide which case to use based on what you're expressing. These are also called Wechselpräpositionen, literally change prepositions, because they change between accusative and dative depending on the meaning. Two-way prepositions are special German prepositions that can be followed by either the accusative or dative case, depending on the sentence context. Here's the golden rule you need to memorize. Use accusative if the sentence shows movement or direction, answering the question, wohin, where to or where you're going. Use dative if the sentence shows location or position, answering the question, wo, where or where is something located. Think of it this way. Accusative equals motion. Something is moving or being placed. Dative equals static. Something is already there, not moving. This is the key to mastering two-way prepositions. Before diving in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for upcoming German lessons.
Let's learn the 9 two-way prepositions. An, on, vertical surface. Auf, on, horizontal surface. Hinter, behind. In or into. Neben, near or next to. Über, over or above. Unter, under or below. Vor, in front of. And zwischen, between. That's 9 two-way prepositions total. Remember, an, auf, hinter, in, neben, über, unter, vor, zwischen. These are the ones that can take the accusative or the dative.
Let's start with an on for vertical surfaces like walls. Ich hänge das Bild an die Wand. I am hanging the picture on the wall. This uses accusative because there's movement. The picture is being moved onto the wall. Ask yourself, wohin hänge ich das Bild? Where am I hanging the picture to? Answer, an die Wand, onto the wall. The feminine article die stays die in accusative. This shows direction. Das Bild hängt an der Wand. The picture is hanging on the wall. This uses dative because there's no movement. The picture is already there, just existing on the wall. Ask yourself, wo hängt das Bild? Where is the picture? Answer, an der Wand, on the wall. The feminine article changes from die to der in dative. This shows static location. See the difference? Same preposition, an, same place, the wall, but different cases based on movement versus location. Next is auf, with on for horizontal surfaces like tables, desks, or floors. Ich lege das Buch auf den Tisch. I am putting the book on the table. This uses accusative because there's movement. I'm actively placing the book onto the table. Wohin lege ich das Buch? Where am I putting the book to? Answer, auf den Tisch, onto the table. Notice der Tisch becomes dem Tisch, accusative masculine. Das Buch liegt auf dem Tisch. The book is lying on the table. This uses dative because there's no movement. The book is already there, resting on the table. Wo liegt das Buch? Where is the book? Answer, auf dem Tisch, on the table. Notice der Tisch becomes dem Tisch, dative masculine. Key verb difference. Legen, to place or put, is accusative. Liegen, to lie or be lying, is dative.
Next is hinter, behind. Der Junge läuft hinter das Haus.
The boy is running behind the house. This uses accusative because there's movement. The boy is moving to a position behind the house. Wohin läuft der Junge? Where is the boy running to? Answer, hinter das Haus. The neuter das stays das in accusative. Der Junge steht hinter dem Haus. The boy is standing behind the house. This uses dative because there's no movement. The boy is already positioned behind the house, just standing there. Wo steht der Junge? Where is the boy standing? Answer, hinter dem Haus. The neuter das becomes dem in dative, showing static position. Movement verbs like laufen, to run, equal accusative. Position verbs like stehen, to stand, equal dative. Next is in or into. This is one of the most frequently used two-way prepositions. Ich gehe in die Schule. I'm going into the school. This uses accusative because there's movement. I'm actively going into the school. Wohin gehe ich? Where am I going to? Answer, in die Schule. The feminine die stays die in accusative, showing movement into the location. Ich bin in der Schule. I'm in the school, or I'm at school. This uses dative because there's no movement. I'm already there inside the school. Wo bin ich? Where am I? Answer, in der Schule. The feminine die becomes der in dative, showing static position. This is super important. Gehen in plus accusative equals going to. Sein in plus dative equals being at.
Next is neben, next to or beside. Stell den Stuhl neben das Bett. Put the chair next to the bed. This uses accusative because there's movement. You're placing the chair into a position next to the bed. Wohin stellst du den Stuhl? Where are you putting the chair to? Answer, neben das Bett. The neuter das Bett stays das in accusative. Der Stuhl steht neben dem Bett. The chair is standing next to the bed. This uses dative because there's no movement. The chair is already positioned next to the bed. Wo steht der Stuhl? Where is the chair standing? Answer, neben dem Bett. The neuter das becomes dem in dative. Next is über, over or above. Hängt die Lampe über den Tisch. He is hanging the lamp over the table. This uses accusative because there's movement. He's actively hanging the lamp to a position over the table. Wohin hängt die Lampe? Where is he hanging the lamp to? Answer, über den Tisch. The masculine der Tisch becomes den Tisch, accusative. Die Lampe hängt über dem Tisch. The lamp is hanging over the table. This uses dative because there's no movement. The lamp is already positioned over the table. Wo hängt die Lampe? Where is the lamp hanging? Answer, über dem Tisch. The masculine der becomes dem in dative.
Next is unter, under or below. Die Katze läuft unter das Sofa. The cat is running under the sofa. This uses accusative because there's movement. The cat is moving to a position under the sofa. Wohin läuft die Katze? Where is the cat running to? Answer, unter das Sofa. The neuter das stays das in accusative. Die Katze schläft unter dem Sofa. The cat is sleeping under the sofa. This uses dative because there's no movement. The cat is already positioned under the sofa, just sleeping there. Wo schläft die Katze? Where is the cat sleeping? Answer, unter dem Sofa. The neuter das becomes dem, dative. Next is for, in front of.
Ich stelle das Auto vor das Haus. I am parking the car in front of the house. This uses accusative because there's movement. I'm placing the car to a position in front of the house. Wohin stelle ich das Auto? Where am I parking the car to? Answer, vor das Haus. The neuter das stays das in accusative. Das Auto steht vor dem Haus. The car is parked in front of the house. This uses dative because there's no movement. The car is already positioned in front of the house. Wo steht das Auto? Where is the car? Answer, vor dem Haus. The neuter das becomes dem, dative.
Finally, zwischen, between. Sitzt sich zwischen die Kinder. He sits down between the children. This uses accusative because there's movement. He's actively moving to sit between the children. Wohin sitzt sich? Where is he sitting down to? Answer, zwischen die Kinder. The plural die Kinder stays die in accusative. Sitzt zwischen den Kindern. He sits between the children. He's already sitting there. This uses dative because there's no movement. He's already positioned between the children. Wo sitzt Where is he sitting? Answer, zwischen den Kindern. The plural die becomes den, and we add n to the noun, Kinder, to Kindern, in dative plural. Notice the verb difference. Sich setzen, to sit down, equals movement, equals accusative. Sitzen, to sit or be sitting, equals static, equals dative. Now let's practice. I'll show you 5 sentences where you need to choose the correct case or preposition. Pause the video and give it a try. Here are the answers. Let's check how you did. Let me summarize the key points about two-way prepositions. First, there are 9 two-way prepositions that can take either accusative or dative: an, auf, hinter, in, neben, über, unter, vor, zwischen. Second, the golden rule. Accusative equals movement or direction, answers wohin, where to. Dative equals location or position, answers wo, where. Third, ask yourself these questions. Is something moving or being placed? Equals accusative. Is something already there, just existing? Equals dative. Fourth, special cases. An equals vertical surfaces, walls, doors, and windows. Auf equals horizontal surfaces, tables, floors, and desks. The key is practice. Think about whether something is moving or staying still. Ask wohin or wo, and you'll always know which case to use.
Outstanding work! You now understand two-way prepositions, one of the most challenging yet most essential topics in German grammar. This is a huge achievement because two-way prepositions appear constantly in German conversation whenever you talk about location or movement. Now you can precisely express whether something is moving somewhere or already positioned somewhere. Keep learning with Sikho German. Two-way prepositions combined with your knowledge of accusative and dative prepositions means you now have complete mastery of German prepositions. You've conquered one of the hardest parts of German grammar.
If this lesson helped you master two-way prepositions, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future grammar lessons. Also, share it with your friends learning German and leave a comment with a sentence using a two-way preposition. Thank you so much for learning with Sikho German today. You've mastered two-way prepositions, one of the most powerful tools in German grammar. Practice these every day by describing where things are and where things are going. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bis bald. Auf Wiedersehen.